With more than 13 million viewers and 9 Emmy nominations, The Good Wife was the breakout drama of last season. Tonight, Julianna Margulies returns as the title character, a lawyer balancing her complicated personal life with a high-pressure career.
Are
the
you
witness already answered.
Fifth because you were involved in Mr. Kimball's murder, or because
Your
of the
Honor,
leak
it is not your place to ask my witness.
Yes, it is, Mrs. Florrick. Now, you are taking the fifth.
Your Honor, if you compel my witness to answer this question, I am moving for an immediate mistrial.
Denied. I'm asking a simple question.
You are not, sir.
Mrs. Florrick.
You are piercing the Fifth Amendment right.
Mrs. Florrick, shut up.
No, sir.
Good scene.
It was a good scene. It was very well written.
Yeah, really. Which is, I think, the theme of this whole show is it's so well done.
The writing this year, I think the writing is even more sophisticated, complex. I think the network has given it to the writers, to Robert and Michelle King, and said, you know what?
Go with it.
Go with it.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is obviously working. So they've sort of stepped away from it just being a procedural and allowing it to be something that really network hasn't seen in a while. And there's a very big political backdrop this year, too, on top of the law, on top of the personal. So it's a fun mix. It's such a fun character to play.
I want to go back to the Emmys, because everybody said you were a lock for the Emmys. I was sitting at home cheering for you at the Emmys. Kira Sedgwick wins the Emmy, and doesn't she already sort of have your Emmy from ER?
Oh, the joke was, I was so glad that she won.
Right.
Because she'd been nominated 5 years. We're dear friends, and she used to rent my house in LA before I sold it. And I had my Emmy always sitting in the office there. And so for 4 years, she had been nominated and never won. And her husband, Kevin, said, you know, every year she'd walk in and there's your Emmy. And then finally this year, they're not in my house, and she got her own. So I was really thrilled for her.
I'm going to go back to the storyline of the show, because what has developed over the last year, especially later in the season, is you started having this relationship with one of the guys in the office, right?
Flirted with a relationship.
Well, now you really feel like you're kind of torn between two lovers, as it were, right?
So to speak, yes.
Do people come up to you and talk to you about it on the street?
They do. They're very invested in who this character should be with and what she should do in her romantic life.
Right, and?
You know,
Is there a preponderance of, do they tend to go
the younger groups, especially the women, all want me to go with Will Gardner, Josh Charles's character, and the older people and all the men say I should give
Mr.
Chris
Big.
Noth, the Peter Florrick character, another chance. And what's been interesting is how we're playing out the season, which is really right now we're sort of in a limbo state.
It's interesting, because when people talk about the show, it almost looks like a show that ought to be on cable, because it's that good.
Yeah.
And it's on broadcast television, which makes it even better, because all the more people get to see it then.
It's a gift all around. I mean, the hardest part is that it truly does feel like we're doing a cable quality show, in that so much time and effort goes into it. But on cable, they do 12 episodes and we do 23. So the time that we have is minimal. And so we have to execute these episodes as quickly as possible. But, you know, it happened. We do it. And you work hard, but it's work that you love. So I'm happy about it.
One of the other notes that I saw for this coming season is that Michael J. Fox is going to be in an episode.
Yes, I'm working with him right now.
Playing with a guy who has Parkinson's.
He's actually playing a lawyer.
Right.
He's defense counsel for a pharmaceutical company, and he is playing a man who has Parkinson's. So he uses it to get the jury on his side, to distract them from my testimony.
Oh, wow.
And it's truly a spectacular thing to watch. And he's so good at it. And he said to me it was very freeing for him, because it was the first role he's played with Parkinson's where he gets to have Parkinson's, so he doesn't have to hide anything.
Doesn't have to try and constrain himself.
And
he's such an amazing person.
He's unbelievable, a stand-up fellow.
Last but not least, going back to the Emmys again, though you did not win, there was the moment at the end where you did the Humanitarian Award and cast it on to George Clooney. And is there any part, will you forever be connected to George Clooney?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where that couple, the Hathaway-Doug Ross couple, was from ER was so popular, and I think that people who know George Clooney and know him from, I mean, everyone knows George more than they know me, obviously, because he's a huge movie star, and I think what happens is I just get to ride his coattails, basically, because my character was connected. There pretty much isn't a day in my life that goes by where someone doesn't ask me what it was like to kiss him, what's he like, is he really as great as he seems? And that's not I'm grateful to be able to answer yes to all of the above.
Sorry to have brought that up again. I'm just, my bad.
It's
my
okay.
bad. You look absolutely stunning.
Oh, thank you
Just
very
gorgeous.
much.
Wow.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.